Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Pokemon Switch Draft League. This is week 14, so this is our final week of the regular season. As you can see, I'm trying a different setup to get ready for the playoffs. I think it'd be better for the playoffs if we had a more official looking headset. So, as opposed to me working with the mic, we'll see if this video doesn't do well audio wise, then maybe we change some things there. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here. Right now, I'm trying to make sure I get the volume right on me speaking, since I am using a different setup here. Let's see. Do. Okay, that looks good in the bars. I don't know what it's going to sound like when I get excited, but that'll be good for now. Let's see here. So our first matchup of the day is going to be, we're basically going to have the teams making the playoffs get their games out of the way first, since we'll see them again next week. And the teams not getting in the playoffs, those matchups will be the end. As you can see, we got 7 matchups today instead of 6 because we do have that doubleheader we've been waiting all season for. So it's not really going to have a big impact on the big picture. It's just going to be bragging rights pretty much between those two. But nonetheless, got to play it so everyone played the same number of games. All right. First matchup of the day. We've got the Fairmont Flygon playing against the Raging Rayquaza. This is a big one because the 2 seed is technically still up for grabs. It is currently in control by Nightmare, but if Nightmare were to somehow lose this week and Flygon were to somehow win, Flygon could get the spot back. So we will see how this goes. All right, I'm using the same lineup I used as the computer player, the other player last time, but with me in control, I think we'll do better. Let's go with, I don't think we used Eternatus music ever in this, so let's go with Eternatus. We'll do 3 for the music, because I wanted to save the gym leader music is going to be the tournament music, essentially, like the first and second round. And then we'll have the champion music as the, well, championship. So that's kind of how we'll do it. All right. Make sure that the other person is ready to go here. I'm amazed we've gotten this to work as well as we have this season. I don't know if it will be in this game or in Pokemon Stadium 2 again next season, but this has worked better than expected at least. All right, I'm going to lead with Regice because I'm pretty sure that they're going to lead with the Hippopotas. Not going to be real surprised about that if they do, because they want to set up the Garchomp right away. So let's just make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I got texts back and forth, make sure they're using the lineup that the person submitted. So all right, let's go. Last week of the regular season. All right, so it is Hippopotas versus Regice. The Blizzard's going to be a 50-50 proposition here, but it'll probably go for Fissure, which is also not exactly 100%. So we'll see who can land a hit first. We are faster. We missed the 50% Blizzard. They missed the Fissure. Okay, so big nothing burger there on the first turn. We win the coin toss on the second turn, and that is enough to take out the Hippopotas. All right. 2 turns of Regice getting hit, though. Not super great for us, but yeah. All right, it's got the Sand Veil and it's got the Sandstorm up. We'll try one more time for Blizzard, see if we get lucky. It's going to Earthquake us. I probably could have tried to switch to Rotom, but if it would have gone Fire Blast, that could have ended badly. We do not get the Blizzard. I'm not terribly surprised by that because it was already 50%. Now I gotta decide if I'm gonna try to outsmart them or not. They are faster, so even if I put Rotom out there, they're just gonna Fire Blast it the next turn probably. So I think I gotta let Regice go. Yep, Regice goes down to Garchomp. What to do here? I don't think they have any priority on their team, which is good. Ideally, I'd actually like to save those 3 for the other Pokemon remaining. Like for Cresselia and Latios and all them. So I guess we will go Rotom. At least it gets in there safely. It may still get Fire Blasted, but it won't get Fire Blasted on a switch-in turn. I'm just going to go for the Leaf Storm. Just going to go for it. Here comes that Fire Blast. They did hit on the first try. And it did a lot of damage. Alright, there's our Leaf Storm. Not going to knock it out, but at least we got some good damage on the Garchomp. That's really the biggest thing, and its Sandstorm is gone. So I'm just going to try to get our Leaf Storm off. Alright, Garchomp's going to take out the Rotom. I thought about switching, but again, I'm trying to take as little damage as I can on some of these. At least with the Sandstorm gone, we can set up Sharpedo properly. I think I got something on my controller here. Like soda or something, because it's kind of sticky. I'll have to clean that up after this. Great. Alright, well, Protect, obviously. Will they switch? That's the big question here. Are they going to try and switch to save the Garchomp? They do predict my Protect. Well, the plus there is Protect's not going to work, which means I could do it again next turn. So we'll have double speed instead of 1.5 times. So we will definitely outspeed the Garchomp. If we make it to Garchomp. We got to get by the Gastrodon first, of course. Because Aggron could win us the game by just flinch luck. But I would like to have my Dark types still for Cresselia and Latios. Alright. Well, Waterfall's not going to work because it's got that Storm Drain, so we have to go Night Slash and kind of hope that we get a crit. We did not get a crit. That's not great for us. Let's wait them out another turn. If anything, just try to use up some more of their Earthquakes. Alright, so crit will do twice as much damage as a normal hit. So, looking at what we did that last time, we could possibly beat it if we get a crit, but again, that's if we get a crit. Oh, we did get a crit, but we did not take it out. Good job, though, Sharpedo. Gastrodon going to take out Sharpedo. That's not great for us regarding Cresselia and Latios, but at least we got some good damage there. I guess I could put Aggron in, but then we're kind of hoping for a lot there. There's also the chance that it tries to go for Recover. Let's go Aggron. I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to go Ice Punch, assuming that it's trying to recover instead of it going for the Earthquake. Please let us be faster. We are faster. There's the Ice Punch, and it is enough. Okay. So we still got our full health. We got rid of that thing. Garchomp's going to come in. It's going to Earthquake us, but that's why we have Sturdy. Now we will have to hope we can get a flinch when it comes to Latios and Cresselia. Maybe, and probably a crit from Drapion as well. All right, Ice Punch it. All right, we are faster. And since it is Sandvale and not Rough Skin, it doesn't take us out with recoil. All right, all right. Who's coming in, Latios? Or okay, it is Latios. Let's be honest, we're gonna need a flinch. We might Ice Punch after the flinch, but we're gonna need a flinch to have a chance here. I don't know. Let's see. That'd be 120 plus the chance to flinch. 150, small chance to freeze. You know what? I am going to go Ice Punch and hope for the best. I probably should have done Iron Head first, but we're going to go for more damage. Sadly, that was the more damage result. I was going to say, because if we didn't flinch, I knew that we were going down. So, that was a tough call. Also, you never know. We could have got the freeze. All right, Drapion. Can you pull off a miracle here, buddy? Not even going to bother with Iron Defense because both of these are special attackers. We're just going to go Night Slash and hope we can get some critical hits here. Okay, less than half. There goes the Latios. Okay. Seeing as the text took a while, I think it was a critical hit. I didn't see the text. All right, Cresselia. They can't use Psychic on us, so it has to use Moonblast. It may try to charge up first. That's what it tends to do. Usually you try to get 1 or 2 Calm Minds in. Let's see. We are faster. That's a big help. All right, half its health gone. That was a crit, though, so we're going to need another crit to have a chance here. If we don't crit it, we probably lose. And seeing as we've had 2 crits in a row, we're kind of asking for a lot here. But we'll see. We are faster, at least, so we'll get our chance first. Cresselia hangs on. Do we survive the Moonblast? Probably not, but do we? Drapion survives the Moonblast at the +1, and we are faster, so we're going to go first. Drapion is going to beat the Cresselia. All right. A 1-0 victory for the Flygon to end the season against the Rayquaza. Oh, that's a big win. It could mean absolutely nothing if Nightmare wins the game after that, but that's a big win to give the Flygon a chance at the 2 seed. All right. Well, moving on to the second match of the day. We've got 5 and 8 My Little Ponyta versus the current 2 seed Nightmare AC. Now the Flygon did win in the earlier game. So if Nightmare does lose this, the Flygon will regain control of the 2 seed. However, looking at the teams, like I have written here on paper, it's going to be hard to beat the Nightmare. Really, just Rotom Heat is a problem. Like, we don't really have anything great against that Pokemon. Like, we can't Fissure or Earthquake it because of Levitate. Bronzor dies immediately because weak to fire. Roserade could Sludge Bomb it, but again, weak to fire. Metagross can't Earthquake it, so we could hit it with Psycho Cut maybe. but again, weak to fire. And Togekiss is weak to electric. So, yeah, we're not really in great shape regardless here. Let's see. For Ludicolo, we do have Togekiss and Roserade. For Lucario, got a couple ground type moves. Metagross could beat the Weavile with Bullet Punch. I think that I'm actually going to lead the Roserade here, expecting the Rotom Heat, because that tends to be the lead for this team when the other person's in charge. And while we will probably go down, we're faster, so we can get a good hit with Sludge Bomb first, maybe even poison it. And then all we would need is something like Togekiss to maybe get a flinch or something, and we beat it. And then, as I laid out, we could potentially take on the other four. That's the idea anyway. We'll see how it goes. And then Bronzor, I think that both myself and the computer player have been using it wrong this season. We usually just Trick Room and then we leave it in and it dies. I think what we need to do is I need to Trick Room and use Hippowdon. All right. We're going to go for the Sludge Bomb right away. Overheat is 90% accurate. Maybe it misses. That's a good hit. Come on, miss. It definitely did not miss. All right, Roserade goes down. But we did at least get a good hit on the Rotom, and now its Overheat will at least be weaker for the other Pokemon that come in. Let's go Togekiss. Thunder will be weaker as well. Let's see here. We do have the Ancient Power. So this might have actually been a good idea after all by me. I forgot we had Ancient Power for a moment. It gets to go first. It outspeeds the Togekiss. I am not used to that. I'm used to Togekiss being very fast, but Togekiss does tank it. Here comes the Ancient Power. Maybe that'll make it fast if we get lucky enough to get the boost. It does take out the Rotom. It got a crit. I'm not sure if it needed the crit or not. But regardless, we took out Rotom. We did not get the boost. We did not get the boost. That's disappointing. All right, the Weavile coming in. You are going to Ice Punch or Poison Jab me. That much I can almost guarantee. Problem is we don't have a whole lot to deal with you either, buddy. We're just going to Dazzling Gleam and hope for the best. All right, Togekiss goes down. Weavile with the knockout. Let's go Metagross. I would put Bronzong out there, but I'm pretty sure he'll die in one hit before I can Trick Room. Bullet Punch. It stays out, so it's definitely going to go for Night Slash. That's a good Bullet Punch. If we survive, if we don't get a crit here, we can just Bullet Punch it again. All right, no crit. Let's just Bullet Punch it again. Get rid of it. Because Metagross is bulky enough that, like, it might, depending on, if it's not a super effective hit, it can probably survive another hit. All right. Actually, this is a perfect time to put Bronzor in. It's either going to go with a fighting move and it'll be neutral, or more likely, since it has Earthquake, it'll probably go for that super effective hit to try and knock out Metagross. So I'm going to switch. We have Levitate. We'll survive the turn. Yeah. And now, unless Drain Punch one-shots us, we should be able to put up the Trick Room. Alright, definitely did not one-shot us. Alright, Earthquake. I mean, it'll probably offset, if not all, most of the damage we do with Drain Punch, but, like, at least now when, like, Hippowdon comes in, it'll outspeed it unless it uses Like, it'll be forced to use extreme speed. Okay, it didn't get as much back as I thought it was going to get, so that's a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to fully heal. So we'll leave it with a little bit of damage at least before we got to switch out. All right, Lucario takes out the Bronzor. So we've got an injured Metagross and a Hippowdon. Hippowdon will get, I think it's 3 turns of Trick Room to work with. All right, they stayed in. I would have probably gone to Ludicolo there, but all right. Lucario goes down to the Hippowdon. So it's Ludicolo and Latios left. If they're smart, they'll go Ludicolo because they can wait out the Trick Room, and then Latios will be the fastest thing on the field again. We're going to go for it since we're faster. We're going to go for Fissure. It's probably going to Rain Dance anyway. That tends to be what they do. We missed the Fissure. It did Rain Dance, though. If Trick Room's up one more turn, we'll at least get one more shot at the Fissure. Because let's face it, Ice Fang's not going to take this thing down right away. And okay, it's going to be fast now. Great. I was going to say, it's also got Giga Drain, so if we did like an Ice Fang or an Earthquake, it would just get its health back. Come on, miss the Hydro Pump. It did not miss. And with the rain helping it out, it one-shots the Hippowdon. We did have our chance, though, at Fissure, to be fair. We didn't get it, but we had our chance. We could have taken it out, and then it would have been interesting to see Latios versus the 2 remaining Pokemon. That's how it goes, though, in Pokemon. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. Does this flinch or just crits? Crits. All right, Psycho Cut. If it misses or we somehow survive, we could Bullet Punch it next turn. It did not miss. Do we survive it or are we gone? We are indeed gone. Don't know how much the rain boost helped there, but nonetheless, that is going to be a victory for Nightmare. That'll end Ponyta's season with a record of 5-9, and that is a 2-0 loss. So Nightmare will hang on to the 2 seed with a record of 10-4. Technically, the Flygon are also 10-4, but Nightmare has the point differential tiebreaker. So Nightmare swept the series 2-0. So even if the points would have been tied, the next tiebreaker would have been head-to-head. So the only way the Flygon could have gotten it would have been if they had a better record, or if they both lost today and like Nightmare got swept or something. But that didn't happen. Didn't matter. So Nightmare is the 2 seed. Congrats, buddy. You are one of my biggest rivals when it comes to the Pokemon League and some of the other things we do together. But you're also one of my best friends. Congrats on getting the higher spot out of the 2 of us. All right. Moving on, we've got the Squirtle Squad. If I can find it on my screen here. Squirtle Squad versus the Mamoswine Flu. Now, Squirtle Squad will not make the playoffs this season, but a win would at least allow them to finish with an even record of 7-7. Mamoswine Flu competing for positioning as well. They are 9-4. Flygon and Nightmare are both 10-4. If Mamoswine wins, they have a shot at the 3 seed, depending on tiebreakers of Flygon. I think Flygon owns it technically, but I don't have the numbers in front of me, so we'll see later. If they lose, then the Flygon definitely get the 3 seed. So we'll see how it goes. All right, Squirtle Squad. And I have been instructed by Squirtle Squad to lead with the Luxray. So whether I think it's a good idea or not, I haven't looked yet, so I'm not sure. It's going to be an iffy one for Luxray. I would have liked to save it for after the ground guys are gone. But let's face it, they'll probably start with the ice guys anyway, so I guess that works out. But since that's what the team chose to do. That's what I got to do. I got to honor and respect their choice there. So let's see if the Squirtle Squad can finish 500, or if Mamoswine will join the double-digit win club, which right now is Rayquaza, Flygon, and Nightmare. Yep, leading that Abomasnow. I think I've said so in an earlier episode this season, but the reason everything's caught in timer balls is I just bought 1,000,000 timer balls and caught most of these Pokemon in the Dynamax Adventures. So like that's why it's so many of them are in timer balls, because that's what I had on hand. It was faster. All right. I'm dumb. I was going to say I didn't see what I picked. I didn't realize I was already in the move screen. That's my bad. But we did land the Thunder in the Blizzard. In the Hailstorm. Wow. I forgot about the Intimidate on Luxray. It did a great job surviving that hit. Okay, this time don't be an idiot. Let's pick the Superpower. Would have been nice if we could have got the Paralysis from that Thunder. Superpower takes it out. So at least that somewhat rectifies my mistake. All right. I would assume Mamoswine next since the Hailstorm's up. This one does have the Snow Cloak ability. I always kind of prefer the Thick Fat ability on my Mamoswine, but this one's kind of going for like the Garchomp Frostlass gimmick. Let's see. Luxray not super fast, but it's fast enough. Let's go Curlia. Like, sack it off. And then Sceptile can come in unharmed to try and take out the Mamoswine. Alright, Curlia goes down. Get Sceptile out there. We do have that Dragon Dance. If this thing wasn't part Ice type, I would attempt it. But it would just... I mean, the Hailstorm's up, so it's going to land Blizzard. Like, for sure. It's a shame. I think that Dragon Dance would have helped. Do we survive the Blizzard? Probably not. We do somehow. The Hailstorm playing a role, though. There, okay. Sceptile hangs on. We're going to get that second Leaf Blade off. Mamoswine will go down. All right, and the Hailstorm is over. As you say, it's got to be Glalie. There's no way they're sending Trapinch or Claydol out against us. You're not going to Sheer Cold me when I got 14 health left. Leaf Blade again. It survives. We got crit, but it survives. And it will take out the Sceptile with Crunch. Right, this is a good time for the Luxray again. I think we're faster, I'm not sure. Oh, we'll crunch it. All right, who's faster? Makes a difference. Glalie is faster. It's going to Earthquake. That's probably going to be the end. But we do have the Intimidate that saves us. Lowering Glalie's attack keeps Luxray alive, and Luxray will crunch it. There goes the Glalie. And now the problem for Luxray is everything left is a ground type. However, we do have the crunch, I guess, for Claydol. I had a feeling Claydol would come first because they're going to want a Trick Room. Good damage on it, but it survives. Here comes the Trick Room, and it's up and active now. So it's definitely going to go for Earthquake. And we don't have anything that can dodge Earthquake, so we're just going to have to let Luxray take one for the team here. Earthquake, Earth Power, whatever it is. I forget what I gave it. Earth Power. It's one of those Pokemon like the Glalie where like the attack and special attack are either the same or almost the same. So you really could run it physically or specially. Claydol gets a knockout on the Luxray. Let's go Absol, just because it's not weak to ground. Claydol will move first, though, because of the Trick Room. So this is going to be interesting. Night Slash. It goes for Ice Beam. All right, we tanked that Ice Beam pretty well, actually. Claydol will go down. Interesting they didn't go for the stab Earth Power. The only thing I can think of is they were just trying to get the freeze. But who knows? Who knows? All right, Trapinch. Same thing, Night Slash it. Going for Earthquake instead of Fissure. Trapinch does, I was going to say, have 100 base attack, but Absol survives with 2 health left and will take out the Trapinch. I wonder if that was a low damage roll or not. Like, I wonder if it could have taken out the Trapinch on the Absol. Whatever the case, that is a victory for the Squirtle squad. A 2-0 victory. Making me 2-1 against the computer today. We're going to know all the seedings by the end of today, so that's something I'm looking forward to, is knowing who's going to play who. We've known for a week who's going to be in the playoffs. 2 weeks now, who's going to be in the playoffs. Now we'll actually know who's playing who. All right, next up we've got, speaking of playoffs, the 8-5 Harper's Ferry Haunter playing against the 8-5 Pokemon Power. The loser of this game will be the 6th seed and play against the 3 seed, which is most likely going to be my Fairmont Flygon. The winner will play the Mamoswine Flu. And both these teams have already played the Mamoswine Flu twice, so it'll be a third matchup for that to happen. Okay. Just making sure that the other person's ready to go as well. Oh. All right, I've been instructed to start with Heatran, so I don't have to put too much thought here. I can just go right down the list here. And let's see if what they're doing. All right, they're good to go as well. Okay, they're starting with Gardevoir. This is a great matchup for us with the Heatran. Flash Cannon. They're staying in. Okay, interesting choice there. It does survive the attack. It goes for Focus Blast, and Focus Blast misses. Now will they stay in? That is the question I want to know the answer to. Is will they actually try to stay in now, or are they going to retreat? They do stay in again. Okay, easy knockout for Heatran to start. Not really the start that the Power were hoping for. Some interesting decisions made there. Alright, now you are a bit scarier. And now I gotta call this right, because if it goes for Horn Drill and I switch in, I think we gotta stay in. Because if I switch, it's definitely gonna go for Horn Drill. And if I do something like put Dusknoir in or stay in, it's going to go for Earthquake. So it's going to hurt me. This is one of those scenarios where I'm going to make the wrong decision no matter what, I feel like. So let's just go Flash Cannon and hope for the absolute best here. It does have Solid Rock, so I was going to say I don't expect to one-shot it. It does go for the Earthquake. Of course it does. Heatran will go down. Alright, surely Swampert can outspeed a Rhyperior, right? Like, there's a reason Rhyperior shows up on Trick Room teams. Like, surely we can outspeed that thing, right? Okay, they're going to switch. Smart play, and they're going to Walrein. Okay. This is a little scary now because, again, Walrein has Sheer Cold. So even though it might look like, oh, it's just water versus water, like, it does have the Sheer Cold. So that's not pleasant for us. Except for Gallade, I don't really have anything super effective either. I think we just got to stay in there and try to get some damage on it. There's the Sheer Cold. It did miss, thank goodness. Ew, that was not as much as I would hoped for. It's going to get a couple more chances at Sheer Cold. 0 for 2 on the Sheer Cold. Now, granted, Sheer Cold is a 30% chance to hit, but, like, it seems like it hits a little more often than that. 0 for 3 on the Sheer Cold. Wow. Okay, well. I feel bad for the power because I feel like they got bad into the stick there. I mean, 0 for 3 on the Sheer Cold. Really? Like, 33 would be a third. I know it's a 30% chance, but about a 1 in 3 chance, and they went 0 for 3. Wow. Well, all right then. Toxicroak is in. It goes for Drain Punch. I mean, that did some damage. We're just going to Earth Power it. Swampert getting a game to shine here. Going for Drain Punch again. And Swampert should take it out here. Unless it somehow misses an Earth Power. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright, here comes the Drifblim. They still have a very injured Rhyperior in the back as well. We're going to go Blizzard. They are faster. I should have realized that. My bad. Grand Amnesia wouldn't have helped us here because that's a physical move. We'll go for Blizzard when it comes back out. Alright, we're down to 20. Here comes a Blizzard. We land our Blizzard on the first try. And Drifblim takes quite the hit from it. Well, we already know you're probably gonna... It's probably gonna Phantom Force again. Let's go Gallade here. I want something that's not gonna be... Well, I guess it is part Psychic, so everything we have left is weak to Phantom Force. Okay, it went Gust instead. We should survive that, yeah. Okay. Very weird circumstances here. Let's go Thunder Wave. I know that that means that we could get beat, but like we're just trying to secure the win at this point. Like, if we get it Thunder Waved, even if Gallade can't beat it, it's going to be so slow that the others will beat it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Not my best battle on my part, but we're hanging in there. Psycho Cut. And we get it. That was without a critical hit as well. Okay. So all that's left is the very injured Rhyperior. I think the game took it back. The opponent took it back because we do have the Dusknoir, so it was maybe hoping we could put up a Trick Room to help it out. But, yeah. We didn't have to do that. So, Rhyperior going to go down to the close combat. And that is a 4-0 victory for Harper's Ferry Haunter. Not the way that the Power wanted to end the season, I know. But hey, they are in the playoffs, so they've got that to be happy about at least. So we'll see how it goes. All right, these last 3 games do not involve any teams that will be in the playoffs. These will be their final games of the season. So let's give it up for them. The first game will be the first of the doubleheader between Team Leanna and Team Garrett. These teams have... Garrett had a chance. Like, honestly, if they win the doubleheaders today, they could finish 7-7. So they had a shot at making the playoffs, considering 8-6 was ended up being the 6th seed. So they actually had a solid team. It just took them a couple weeks to kind of figure out the way of building and planning a team. Which this is their first year in a draft league, so it makes sense. Team Leanna, on the other hand, has just done the same lineup every week without any changes whatsoever. So there's a reason they're 2-10. Their 2 wins were against the team that doesn't have any wins, if that tells you anything. So, yeah. Yeah. So we'll see if they can steal a win right here against Team Garrett or not, or if Team Garrett will win both of these and finish 7-7, with Team Leanna's only wins being against that before-mentioned team. All right, Team Leanna and Team Garrett. All right. What are these two going to do? It's probably going to Sandstorm, so let's just go play rough. Good hit on the Gabite. It's half beat. It does go for the Sandstorm. It's trying to set up the Sand Veil. All right. Our play rough lands, and Gabite is defeated. That's not a bad strategy, but like I feel like if you're gonna, for Garchomp, it's bulky enough you can probably get away with it. In a league like this where we aren't using the Eviolite, it's probably better to have like a Hippopotas set the weather and then put the Gabite in. They have a Hippopotas on their roster. They just don't use them together for whatever reason. All right, high jump kick. Pretty good damage. We'll need 2 more of them probably. They're going to try to whittle us down. Ooh, they got our attack drop. That's not fabulous for us. All right, they missed the play rough there. We'll do another high jump kick. All right, Mawilde's down in the red. There's a second play rough. We're in the red as well. Sandstorm goes away. And at this point, we can possibly consider a headbutt. No, let's just go high jump kick again. If we didn't have the attack drop, I would go with the headbutt. We land every high jump kick and we take out the Mawile. Alright, alright. Alright, they put out the Shedinja. Do they not know that we have bounce? Like, they've used this Pokemon too. They should know that, right? I mean, you sure about that? Okay, they forgot we had bounce because they came out immediately. Wow, okay. This isn't an electric move. We could paralyze it potentially. Oh, that would have been really funny. Okay. Headbutt. Hope for some flinch shenanigans. We didn't get it. There's an Ice Fang, and that's going to take out the Lopunny. Okay. You're better against special attacks, so let's put you in there. Earth Power. It's going to go for Thunder. It lands the Thunder on the first try. 70% accurate move. And it gets the 30% chance of the paralysis on the first try. And we're paralyzed. Oh my gosh, what a turn for the Manectric. Second Thunder attempt. 2 for 2 on the Thunder. Lunatone survives and gets off at least one Earth Power. And Manectric will go down. Lunatone getting a knockout for the first time in a while. Honestly, except for Tangrowth, I don't know what Tangrowth... I don't remember Tangrowth's moveset. Everything else can take on the Shedinja. We're not going to live, so I'm going to click Explosion. Okay, well that actually might work out for us. Then we can get a big hit on it before we die. Please don't let us be paralyzed here. As I say, if we're going to go out, at least let us do some damage. I mean, honestly, that's better than we would have got out of Power Gem. So, I mean, that was fine. Let's go Tangrowth. Because it's going to try to... It can beat everything else with Leaf Blade. It might get us good with Sucker Punch. We'll see. Oh, it's going for Hurricane. I mean, granted, the Swords Dance doesn't work on Hurricane, but you can't argue with the results. Look at the damage it did. Ooh, we get Focus Blast to work on the first try. Bye-bye Shift Tree. Tangrowth landing a very critical Focus Blast. I didn't see our moveset. Do we have anything for the Shedinja here? We do not. But you do. We'll have to hope its Leech Life isn't strong enough to beat us in one hit. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. Ooh, I think this battle might be over. This battle might be over. It's going to depend on if it can take out the Soul Rock in one shot. And if Stone Edge will actually land. It did not one-shot, but do we land the Stone Edge? We do get the Stone Edge to land. Shedinja will go down, and that is a 2-0 victory for Team Leanna, their first win that wasn't against Whale Force. All right, these two have another game with different lineups. The now 3-10 Team Leanna versus the now 5-8 Team Garrett. Even that lineup right there, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like Hippopotas should have been a part of that lineup. All right, I'm going to text them what their other lineup was supposed to be. All right, it was supposed to be basically the other 4 plus Shedinja. So that means we're going to see some we haven't seen for a while, like Combuskin, and some Pokemon we haven't seen at all this season, like Lombre. All right, and then for this one, Lopunny is still there, and it's the same thing where it's all the other Pokemon. So we get to see Luxio for once, Cherim for once, Krogunk for once, and Rotom for once. And we'll get to see what this team missed out on this season by the fact that we'll get to see what this team missed out on this season by not using their other Pokemon ever. I did notice there, it looked like the Rotom didn't have all of its IVs, which it's supposed to. But, I mean, honestly, at this point, with these two teams not making the playoffs and Rotom, this is its first appearance of the season, it's not really going to make a difference. Both teams are not getting in regardless of who wins. And since Rotom didn't play in any of the other matches, it didn't really change anything. So, anyway, let's see how this goes. Leading with the Shedinja. Now, that's a strategy. I don't know about leading with it. That's that is an idea. I'm really not sure what they're thinking there. Yeah, I would get it out of there too. It's almost like you shouldn't lead it. If you're wondering why Team Leanna gets to be controlled by me both times, we had a hiccup in the schedule, and the only way for everyone to have 7 home and 7 away games, so to say, was for the doubleheader to play out like this. Both sides were fine with it. So, yeah. All right. Going for the headbutt strategy. We got a flinch there. If we get one more, it goes down. All right, well, Hippopotas is going to lose to Lopunny. All right, what is up next? If they throw a Shedinja out there in a sandstorm, I'm going to lose it. Okay. I was going to say, really? All right, going with that detect strategy. Try and get its speed up. I think we're still faster even after 1 speed boost, so I'm not too worried yet. But now it might make sense to do bounce. All right, yep, we are still faster. And now, even if it outspeeds us next turn, we'll still hit it before it hits us. All right, Combuskin is at double speed. It's probably going to detect, though. I didn't think about that. My bad. All right, now it might be a problem. Now it might be a problem. Going for low sweep, which will slow us down in addition to being super effective. That was just to get some damage on it. All right, Combuskin will take out the Lopunny. We got a critical hit it didn't need, but all right. Sure. This will make it at least have to do something other than low sweep. Rain Dance, because it's probably going to be using fire moves. I don't know. It might have something else. Oh, it has the Shadow Claw. You say, where we haven't seen these things, I'm not as familiar with their movesets. Well, that'll help the other Pokemon as far as dealing with whatever fire move it has. And Thunder will definitely hit. As long as it doesn't crit us, we should get a Thunder off. Thunder. We get lucky and paralyze it. That'd be great. Better yet, just take it out. Okay. Combuskin goes down to the Rotom. Lone Break coming out. Take advantage of that rain being up. Going for Waterfall. And it will take out the Rotom. All right, Krogunk. It's going for Thunder Punch. We go with Poison Jab. That's going to hurt a lot. And that's a dead Lombre. Fainted Lombre, sorry. All right. So far, this has been a pretty even fight between these two teams. Like, in all honesty. Going for Zen Headbutt, that's going to hurt a lot. And Krogunk goes down to the Exploud. All right, we're down to Luxio and Cherim versus Exploud and Shedinja. All right, Cherim. Sunny day. I was hoping that it would be faster than us. This is bad. Because I think that thing has a fire move. I don't remember if it's Fire Blast, Overheat, Flamethrower, whatever, but it has a fire move. It's got the Overheat. Cherim somehow survives a boosted Overheat. Okay. We'll Solar Beam it. Okay, I was kind of hoping to do at least half. It did not. There's Hyper Voice. Cherrim survives it. Cherrim showing off some impressive special defense here. I do like Cherrim, although I have a physical one I normally use. It's a Swords Dance, Seed Bomb, Play Rough. I forget if I do Weather Ball or what the other attack is, but it's fun. All right. Cherrim did some more damage before going down. Exploud took it out. Luxio versus Exploud and Shedinja. The Luxio does have Crunch, so it could potentially beat Shedinja if it gets around Exploud. Exploud barely hung on, I notice now. Man, that was close. Crunch. Kind of shocked it didn't go for Zen Headbutt, like for the chance to flinch. Plus, it would have been a physical move. But all right, because only its special dropped from Overheat. Shedinja versus Luxray. It comes down to who's faster and if Shedinja can do enough damage. I think honestly that Luxray's faster, so I think this one's already over. But we'll see. Luxray is indeed faster, meaning that Luxray wins. So that one is a 1-0 victory for Team Leanna. So they finished the season 4-10. Their 4 wins coming against 2 teams. And Team Garrett, who had a shot at the playoffs at 5-7 coming in. Not coming into today, but during the season, ends up with a 5-9 record. Not bad, especially considering it was their first years playing. I don't know if they'll be back next season or not. That'll be up to them. But not bad for a first season in this kind of in a draft league. I mean, all right. And now our last matchup of the day, what I consider our main event, because history will be made potentially. We have never had in the, I got to remember, 4 years prior. In the 4 years prior, we've never had someone go winless in this league. The closest ever was the owner of Whale Force 1 with Magikarp CC, who went 1-15. We've never had a winless team. If Whale Force cannot find a way to win today, it'll be our first winless team in league history. We've never had a winless team, and we've never had an undefeated team. This could be the first winless team if things don't go well. However, I will say, pulling out all the stops today, Whale Force is working with a slightly different lineup. As you can see, we got the Spiel and the Corphish in there for Guillotine and Sheer Cold, just to take a swing and see what happens. We'll see if they can muster up a win in the last game of the season, or if they will make the wrong kind of history. All right. I know Wailord usually likes to lead with Wailord. I'm going to try something different today. Does Feebas have Rain Dance? It does not. So it still needs to come in after the Wailord. Most of those Pokemon are not fast. I'm going to try Relicanth to lead. If we can get rid of Licky Licky and Pelipper, Spiel and Corphish have a chance against the other 3. Both stat-wise and one-hit knockout-wise. I also saw an error there on the Feebas that it was not a neutral nature. I don't think that makes a difference stat-wise because it's a Feebas. So it'll help it out speed-wise with the Swift Swim. That's really about it. I'll have those things corrected by next season. I was going to say by playoffs, but this team isn't going to be in the playoffs, so. All right. Let's see here. What are we going to do to the Munchlax? I don't think it has any super effective hits on it, so let's take a turn to Amnesia so that we've got... Because we already have naturally high physical defense. This will help our special defense. Yeah, see? So, I'm actually going to get one more in because that wasn't very scary. I could get greedy. Oh, it missed. Okay, yeah, I'm going to get greedy then and go for one more just to max out our special defense. I was going to say I could get greedy, but it depends, and it missed, so yeah. All right, so we've got maximum special defense. So if something hits us with thunder or an energy ball or something like that, we will not die right away. So that's actually really big for Relicanth. Stone Edge, we are faster. Interesting, are we speed tied? Because we were slower both turns that we went for Amnesia. All right, we're faster yet again on this turn. Good hit by the Stone Edge. One for 3 on the Stone Edge. Not doing so hot there. Come on, Relicanth. We finally got a chance to soup you up with high defense, and you're missing all your attacks. We want to avoid making this kind of history. Relicanth gets a win there over the Munchlax. But there is a problem where there are 2 Pokemon on the opponent's team that have grass moves. I think they're both physical. So, yeah. Gonna go Zen Headbutt. Hope we can get some flinches. We got one there. Good start. No flinch there. There's the Power Whip I was worried about. Relicanth will go down. Really, it was just that it missed its Stone Edges. If it would have hit those... I would have done Rock Slide originally when I made that lap, but Relicanth needs the help. Like, it doesn't have enough power to threaten with Rock Slide. It really has to have the Stone Edge to try and have something that can hit hard enough. I guess we're going to have to go Wailord here. I know the Licky Licky has the Power Whip, but everything else definitely goes down in one hit from Power Whip. Wailord might survive it. Let's get a Rain Dance up just in case, though. So if it does go down, we have that Feebas and everything else has the Rain Dance to help out. %85 accurate move. They're 2 for 2 with it so far. Just want to point that one out. All right, our 80% accurate Hydro Pump is going to hit in the rain, and that is not enough to take out Licky Licky, who is now 3 for 3 on Power Whip, and it'll take out the Wailord. But that is huge that Wailord got the rain up and got the health down so low. Feebas can come in now, and we're going to surf with that rain boost and the Swift Swim. Hopefully even Feebas can do this much damage. It can and does. Licky Licky will go down to Feebas. So Feebas with a knockout. If everyone remembers, in the game that Magikarp won last season, Magikarp had a knockout. Interesting they put Pelipper out there. I would have saved it for more rain later. Well, in this case, Blizzard. Hope we get a freeze. 50% accurate Blizzard lands on the first try. No freeze. There's a Seed Bomb. That's not great. Feebas will go down to the Pelipper. Honestly, unless Spiel or Corphish can land one of those one-hit knockouts, I think that Pelipper wins this battle. We'll see. You never know. You never know. Can Spiel survive the 1 seed bomb? It does. It's going to get a chance. Sheer Cold. It lands the Sheer Cold and takes out Pelipper. The Whale Force have a chance. It's babies versus babies from this point on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's a chance. Oh, it's probably gonna... It's probably going to... what's the word? It's probably going to do the protect speed boost strategy. Well, on the off chance it doesn't, here comes a Sheer Cold. Yep, there we go. Oh, well, we get 5 Sheer Colds for a reason. And let's be honest, if that once that thing is boosted up, like 2 Earthquakes isn't going to do it. You know, like at this point we are basically just rolling the dice and hoping for 1-hit knockouts. All right, Carvanha's going to use Crunch. Spiel does not survive the Crunch. Can Corphish win against Carvanha and Azurill? There's not really a point to Dragon Dancing here because that thing has the speed boost. So we're just going to go straight into the Guillotine and hope for the best. Here comes a Crunch. Corphish, he got the defense drop. It's got to hit this or we lose. It misses the Guillotine. Unfortunately, the negative version of history is going to be made. There was a chance if it could have hit the Carvanha that it might have been able to take on the Azurill. It did not hit the Carvanha. And Licky Munchkins is going to win. Whale Force 1 becomes the first winless team in league history. So history has been made. Not the right kind of history, but history. Hopefully they'll come back again next season and maybe we'll get a better plan together around whatever they draft. Honestly, I don't think their draft was bad because they were drafting for a theme. It's more that it was more trying to find a combination that worked. And there weren't any roster moves. Really, this whole season, no one made a roster move. I myself ended up not making a roster move. I thought long and hard. Now that the season's over, this is officially the cutoff for roster moves, so I can speak freely about who I was going to get because no one's going to be allowed to do roster moves now. I almost picked up Cradley several times throughout the season for Sableye or Dusclops. I thought about it long and hard, but ultimately decided to stick with Dusclops because my team was pretty good. But someone like Cradley could have really helped Whale Force. Or some other options they could have gone with would have been like Roselia to counter the grass types and maybe the electric types as well. So, I mean, there were some options out there, but a lot of these teams that didn't make the playoffs, it was more that they didn't want to make changes, and that's why they didn't make the playoffs. I mean, look at Team Leanna used the same lineup every game except the last game that didn't matter. Team Garrett had issues finding the right combination. Whale Force used the same lineup for most of the season. Licky Munchkins used the same lineup for most of the season. Ponyta, especially down the later stretch of the season, used the same lineup a lot. Like, there's a reason that those teams didn't make the playoffs. Squirtle Squad finished 7-7 and just missed the playoffs. They actually made some changes. They didn't change who was on the team, but they started mixing up. They started using Salamence occasionally, etc. And they almost got back into the playoff race as a result. So that's kind of the main difference here between the teams that made it and the teams that didn't. It wasn't just who they drafted, but the teams that made it were willing to make adjustments like you would see in like a sport. Like if a quarterback is playing bad, you change the play calling or you'd switch quarterbacks. You don't keep doing the same thing that's already caused you a bunch of turnovers, you know? So these teams weren't bad, and the managers weren't necessarily bad either. It was more just a lack of change that caused a lot of the losing. Like you saw there, even just putting those two in for Guillotine and Sheer Cold almost got the Whale Lord a win. Like, if they would have done that all season, they might have got lucky one week and not gone winless, you know? So that's kind of how things in Pokemon go at times. With all that being said and done, I'm going to update the standings and show everybody what the playoff bracket looks like. I'll be back in just a moment. And we're back. There's the updated standings for you. Raging Rayquaza finishing 12-2. Nightmare AC via tiebreaker from point differential. Even a swept, I wouldn't have caught him after all. Nightmare AC gets the 2 seed. Fairmont Flygon hanging out 3. Harper's Fairy Haunter getting the 4 seed via tiebreaker. Mammoth Swine Flu getting the 5 seed. And Pokemon Power getting the 6 seed. As far as how the rest of the teams turned out, the Squirtle Squad finished 7th at 7-7. Milo Ponyta got 8th at 5-9 via tiebreakers. Number 9 was Team Garrett at 5-9 via tiebreakers. 10th was Licky Munchkins at 5-9. 11 was Team Leanna at 4-10. And then we had the Whale Force 1 at 0-14. I decided while listing their records to also have their division records shown. So as you see, like Team Leanna did well against the teams in her division, but not making changes hurt her outside in the tougher leagues. Because this was the bottom of the 3 divisions from a scheduling standpoint, which also makes sense that they all, finished pretty much at the bottom. They all did pretty well. Licky Munchkin's 5-1 in the division, but again, just like Team Leanna struggled outside of the division. Going up here, some interesting notes though. Like Squirtle Squad was placed in the right league. They went 3-3 in the division and 7-7 overall. I may have overestimated My Little Ponyta from the draft because they were in the toughest division. They went 0-6 in games against Flygon, Rayquaza, and Nightmare. Now, granted, some of that may have been that they stopped changing their lineup around week 5 or 6, something like that. So at that point, they weren't doing bad. They were 2-2, although 0-2 in the division. But you start seeing the slide once they quit staying up to date with everything. All right, so updated statistics. Now I'll get to the playoff bracket. Ludicolo had a good game today for Nightmare, catching it up in the standings there for the Knockout Faint category. Milo Ponyta, Metagross reigns supreme. For the Pokemon Power, Walrein had an off day, but is so far ahead of everything else that it's still the king or queen. I forget if it's a boy or girl. Raging Rayquaza. Cresselia lost today, and Garchomp caught up to it with its couple of knockouts. Fairmont Flygon. Flygon still at the top, 12-5, but Aggron caught it, making itself 12-6. Squirtle Squad, Leafeon did not play today, finishes the leader there, 13-5. Licky Munchkins, Pelipper was their leader all season, 12-9. Riolu did not play. Riolu was one of 2 Pokemon that did not make an appearance this season. And Vibrava with the Pokemon Power. Squirtle Squad, which means they're the 2 best candidates for Team Cheerleader since they never played. Could maybe make the case for Feebas. Squirtle Squad, like I said, Leafeon led the way. We were on Whale Force 1, that's what it was. Whale Lord with 5 knockouts and Relicanth with 5 knockouts on the season. They were the leaders. This team had potential. Like, I know it's not the most fearsome looking lineup when you look at those names, but they had so many games that they lost by 1 or 2 points. Like, lost to Leanna by 2, Mammoth Swine Flu by 2, Munchkins by 2, and then a few 3s. Like, they were in some of these games. The 4s and 5s were the only really bad ones. So, I mean, there was potential there. They just never could find the right combination. Harper's Fairy Haunter, Heatran is the leader, 12-5. Mammoth Swine Flu, Mammoth Swine at 22-8. Shift Tree leading the way for Team Garrett with 13-8. And Team Leanna, Lopunny leading the way 13-13. I think Lopunny is the only Pokemon. 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 I think Lopunny is the only P No, Lopunny is one of 2 Pokemon that played every game in the regular season. The other one being Hippopotas female for Raging Rayquaza. But Raging Rayquaza has playoff games to go, so it'll probably pass Lopunny at some point. And those have 13, like Mamoswine and Walrein will probably pass it as well. So here's our bracket. If I can get it to line up correctly here. So we've got in the first round here, we've got the 9-5 Harper's Ferry Haunter. We'll be playing the 9-5 Mamoswine Flu. I can't talk today, apparently. They're both 9-5. Harper's Ferry Haunter has the advantage of getting to pick if they want me in control of the first game or the second game, since they are the higher seed. If they do not make a decision, the default is that I will be them in the first game. As far as Fairmont Flygon and Pokemon Power, I'm going to do the same, where I'm just going to openly say it right now, since I'm the higher seed. I will pick myself for the first game, and then we'll see where things go on the second game. And then Nightmare AC and Raging Rayquaza get a break. They get a bye week for the first week, and then they will play the winners of the other teams, and we'll move on from there. The elimination, as I mentioned, will be the 2-game version, where both teams get a crack at me being in charge. And we'll take obviously, if one team wins both games, they move on because they won both games. In the event of a 1-1 tie, then we factor in point differential. All right. Last season, all the series were 2-0. We didn't have a series that came down the point differential. Or if we did, it was only one time, because I certainly don't remember that happening. Looking at my record this season, I went 52-32 in the regular season. Not awful. I mean, I won just under 2/3 of the time against the opposing player. My second worst season in this league with me controlling teams. Granted, as you see by the little caret before CPU for this season, it was against like a human this season again instead of the actual game itself. So that win percentage might have been a little higher if I was playing the computer. Nowhere near my best year, though. My best year was the second year we did this, where I won 76% of the time. And that's part of what got us talking about the playoff scenarios. And then last season, in the 2024 season, was when we actually changed it. But yeah, 52-32, not bad. So that puts me at what? I haven't done I haven't added it into the all-time yet, since we still have playoff games to go. But that put me at 208 and 106. So yeah, 2/3 of the time, pretty much. So not bad. If you're winning 2/3 of the time in Pokemon, that's pretty good. And if you're winning 3/4 of the time, 75% of the time, you're one of the best. So I'm not too far off there. And with some of the movesets we've had to work with in these leagues, that also factors in. So, like freaking Alakazam in Pokemon Stadium 2 having Kinesis, of all things. So yeah, things are a little skewed. But yeah, I hope you guys liked what you saw here today. I'll give everybody a look at the playoff bracket again. So Nightmare and Raging Rayquaza, you get the week off. Those that didn't make the playoffs, you're done for the season. But I encourage you to still watch, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so that you can cheer on whoever you're cheering on of who's left. And looking at this, it's going to be highly competitive. I mean, first off, I need to update that Raging Rayquaza one. I didn't catch that. They should be 12-2, not 12-1. That's incorrectly typed. But when you look at this, yes, Raging Rayquaza was clearly the number 1 team all season, but they lost a game to the 2 seed and the 3 seed. So they're not unbeatable. If you take Raging Rayquaza out of the picture, you've got 10-4, 10-4, 9-5, 9-5, 8-6. 2-game difference between 2nd and 6th place. So these should be highly competitive battles. I certainly don't expect any sweeps. There might be two victories to none, but like I don't expect any 5-0 outcomes or anything crazy like that. So should be some exciting matches. So I'm ready for it. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Pokemon Switch Draft League. It'll be round 1 of the playoffs. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.